Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, people of the internet. I'm Daniel. Welcome to a short series of podcast called Podcast. I'm joined today by my friend Brandon and Chris. Hello.
What's up? What's up, guys? I'm Chris.
What's up,
And
guys?
today we're just gonna, talk about the basic topics of just anything really, and see where it goes on from there. Uh, Anybody want to start off?
Mm,
Um, you go ahead first, Daniel. Let me think of some.
yeah.
I'll just add on.
So recently, I have been thinking a lot personally to myself, and just like thinking about the concept of time and what happens during this timer of a lifespan that we it it affects me in a way where like I get like freaked out by the and there's times where like okay, it's gonna happen. There's stuff that you gotta live your life and times where like there's times where how do I this smart you can live a life where you can do whatever you want, which everyone thinks is a good life. And there's a life where everybody in the Commonwealth lives now, where you live working your entire life, and working your entire life can lead to stress and anxiety and panic attacks, and it's just not healthy for to handle, and usually causes symptoms of depression, or not symptoms, sorry, like I don't know how you want to call depression. I'm sorry for how I put it, but like you, it can be like you get depression, you get sleep deprived, you start to have these controversial thoughts, you start to worry about death a lot. Personally, I worry about death a lot. It's not good for me. I plan trying to do something or think positively, and it just working your entire life, yeah, you're gonna have to work most of your life because we're run by a society of money controlled human, and it's just generally bad for everyone. So we're like, oh, I need money for food. I need this. I like think we need money for everything, and it's really bad for the human to comprehend it. And we all start to get worried of like, oh, I'm gonna need money next week so I can buy dinner. Oh, I'm gonna need money next week so I can
Support your family.
go,
hmm
yeah, support my family. Oh, this, I'm gonna do that. So then we start to again worry ourselves, and we
Imagine the inevitable.
we start to have these scenarios in our head like, oh
hmm
my god, if I'm not gonna have money for this, they're gonna be mad at me. Oh, if I don't get money for this, I'm not gonna have food next week. And like, money has corrupted our brains so much that we start to fade out the things that we love, or start to put things that we always wanted to do behind us, and we start to become like zombies, so to speak, and we start to forget a lot of things that are very important, and we start to
We just start to overthink.
hmm
yeah, and then like overthinking. We start to overthink a lot, and it's generally a plague. Uh, and then like we have we have many more, but I want to hear your guys' first. See what you guys think.
It really does suck that now nowadays people think you need money to live the best life you can, and that you need money to do pretty much anything you really want to do in your life. And without that, basically can't do anything.
Yeah, people think if they don't have money, they can't do anything. You start to just like your mind stops working.
You start to pictures things that are like not a chance to happen in your life. Like you are overthinking that you're gonna die next week and stuff like that. Like people people believe that certain things are gonna take place and you're gonna miss out a lot whenever you die or pass away, however you want to put it. Like fear of fear of missing out. Like people don't want to miss out a lot on stuff, but like
Yeah.
it's the inevitable. Like you are gonna miss out on stuff. Like there's no point
Mm.
in like
Like
denying
you
that.
aren't gonna be able to do everything if you're not gonna.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's always been a dream to visit Germany, and it's always been a dream to go visit many countries in Europe and explore the world. Like genuinely, what a lot of people want to do. And a lot of people just want to play video games their entire life. A lot of people want to like. There's different things a lot of people want to do. Like people love to draw. There's people that just there's people that the relationship status, family, and there's people that do a lot of things.
There's definitely people that overthink like us.
Mm-hmm.
Like some things are like very stressful to humans. Like the fear of not eating, the fear of like
Speaking of stressful, what has always been a stressful topic for you?
Ooh, the the topic of the afterlife and what happens and what goes on. That is very stressful
Yeah,
when there.
I
Just to think,
understand what you mean.
because you never know if
Like,
it's just going to be like a blackness when you close your eyes, like how when you close your eyes when you sleep or something. When you die, you close your eyes, and if it's just going to be black eternally, no, non-existent.
you
you just
definitely
become one with the inevitable black.
you definitely don't want to overthink your entire life, but you are gonna be overthinking forever. Like you don't
Yeah,
want.
I understand what you mean. Like, you don't want to
Mm-hmm.
overthink life. You don't want to overthink life because then you start to fear it, and then that causes the diseases like depression again, and then you want to take
Mm-hmm.
life because you don't want that to happen, and like things like that, and then like leads me to my next topic. If you are depressed, I I've never really talked about it, but there's times where I've thought, well, I'm gonna kill myself, like that, and then there's times where I've like thought of it, and I just talk to someone, and it really helps. Trust me, talking to someone helps. If you are depressed, you don't have to take medicine. Simply just talk.
You
And
definitely don't want to.
yeah,
Definitely don't want to test like your mental capacity for like
Mm-hmm.
things that are never gonna happen. Like constantly, people like to overthink that uh, that the world's gonna end. Like we're gonna die in the next 10 years. Like it's never gonna happen. People just pretty much want to like make you feel like scared. Like you're gonna you're gonna die and there's no point in like doing anything anymore. Like they
but
want
that's
you.
not the case. Whatever we talk about in this podcast is just our own personal opinions and what we think
Mm-hmm.
life consists of, and we're not saying like, oh, if you're depressed, you should do this, or if you should do that. But like seriously though, like from the bottom of each of our hearts, if you are feeling that way and you feel like you're nothing and then you start to like have these really controversial thoughts of like, who am I? What am I? And then like
What's the
that leads to like
purpose?
panic
Mm-hmm.
attacks. You
Suicidal thoughts.
you start to fear life, and then yeah, that leads to suicidal thoughts. It's
Hmm.
just not a healthy human brain. And so, like, if you do feel that way, like, please talk to someone. You are worth something. You matter to a certain person, and you matter to your family. There is people that love you, and there is people that care about you. You don't have to fear life. Life brings a lot of joy and happiness. Just today, we're just talking about what scares us the most. Like, what scares us, or what we think per se about what we're doing. And but seriously though, I'm gonna repeat this as many times as I can. If you are depressed, please talk to someone. It really helps. It really does.
Especially if you're thinking very suicidal thoughts, you definitely
Very
want to reach
drastic
help.
thoughts. Like,
Just so you don't harm yourself or do something stupid and never have the chance to like go another day.
definitely don't want to overthink to the point where you believe you're gonna die.
We'll come to this topic later, but
Let's move on to like space. Like,
yeah,
Oh,
what's gonna
like,
yeah,
happen?
I have a lot of.
yeah.
All right, Daniel. Since you have a lot, how about you speak
No,
your
no, no. If you want to go
thoughts?
first.
A lot of kids.
All right. So basically, people always have this
Well,
fear of missing out. I don't know what the term is, but like people tend to have this fear of missing out over like certain events. Like let's just say the Andromeda galaxy is gonna collide with the Milky Way in like 4.7 billion years, and like people are not like people today are not gonna be able to like see this event happen, this historical event that's gonna happen in 4.7 billion years. We go to a certain lifespan. Like definitely people, like people in the future, they're gonna have some cool hypernovas. Hypernovas are like exploding stars. It's gonna look like a second sun.
Hypernovas are elevated explosions of super.
Yeah. Sometimes there are certain people that tend to believe that people in the future they are gonna have like insane stuff. Like we are gonna miss out a lot. People that are born this day and age, that we're gonna miss out a lot. But really, we're not. Like people in like 4.7 billion years or people in a million years, we're gonna see. Well, they're not gonna see the beginning of technology, beginning of like computers, the beginning of the phone, beginning of like space shuttles that happened maybe 40 years ago, the first people to land on moon. Like people are gonna be living in Mars, on Mars, and like,
Yeah, like the whole SpaceX thing that's happened in 2020.
and of course people are gonna be able to visit Mars, maybe, maybe in 2040.
Yeah, I feel like I understand what you're saying. I feel, but like slightly adjusted. I feel like it's gonna like not be as utopian as it is. I feel like it's gonna be like how we are kind of now, kind of just like elevated. Like this might sound really like unprofessional and out of place, but like um the game Detroit Become Human. I feel like we're gonna become like that in a utopia and dystopia future. Like we're gonna probably on other planets. Like the whole SpaceX thing. When that takes off, dude, the people the first colonized Mars is gonna it's like a seed. You plant it and it grows. So what's gonna probably and most likely happen? The people that go colonize Mars are the seed, and then they're gonna start sending more people there, more and more and more, as much as it grows. And then it's gonna be like when the tree finally grows and the acorns drop from the tree, and they go scatter everywhere. So people that live on Mars can then have these transportations of going to Mars on times and then coming back. And like, if we can't successfully colonize Mars, we'll probably create a greenhouse type of effect, which will then make a livable atmosphere. And Mars is pretty livable. It's basically, as people call it, like the red Earth or something alike the lines. Like from the movie, I think it was actually just called Mars. I forgot. Where he lives on Mars, like he gets stranded there.
Oh, that's
Is there?
what's it called?
I don't remember the title,
The
but
Martian. It's called The Martian.
yeah, The Martian. There you go. I forgot.
Yeah.
That gives a lot of details and like it could possibly be foreshadowing the future of like where like how an example how he was inside the house and he made this sort of effect causing the being able to grow potatoes into the Martian earth and then he can live off of it. If we can do that and grow trees to create more of an atmosphere and make a greenhouse effect and sort of I don't think you can really pressurize it and just make it and then find the water on Mars and make oceans and like for example how the earth was born we can so this is like say 40, 50, maybe a century into the future colonize we've sort of call we are like a quarter of a way colonizing Mars like we think oh well since any if anything galactical exploration is going to become big and we are going to create well rocket ships will be very like affordable and achievable at this point per se and we knock like water-filled asteroids and we start to create oceans how the earth did and then we create hot steam and then the rain comes and then it's gonna rain for however long and then the earth will start to the red surface will start to uncover and we'll have this rain creating oceans and creating this habitable planet and we already I don't know it's kind of like a reflector type of thing like a what is it called that like kind of reflects the sun that like melts better
Wait, what? Repeat?
never mind it's not related to the fact but like say we start to create an atmosphere and with this greenhouse there's say we already have 350 people living on Mars and there's times where we make certain trips back to Earth for certain supplies and then now we start to like really colonize and we start to treat different types of plants. We start bringing animals there. We start making conditions for animals to live there to make their offspring be able to live there, and or getting their offspring to be able to live there, and thus creating a dystopian kind of future.
I see where you're coming from there. Definitely, our scientists today, they really want to advance us to Mars for many reasons. Like in the future, like Stephen Hawking said, his what he said before he passed away, he said that there's gonna be a big impact in the future or in the near future by at least the year 2040. We're gonna have over like 16 billion people on the
Yeah,
earth,
yeah,
or like a close amount to that. I don't know if it's less, I don't know if it's more, but he said that we are definitely gonna be like in the year million, like in the year million, we could, if we don't colonize another planet, we are gonna be shoulder to shoulder with everyone on Earth, and
Yeah, like right now, I
Hmm.
see where you're coming from. Like overpopulation
yeah,
has been a really big topic. China, for example, they're so populated. A billion people live there in China. There's so much that. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't have the most information on this. That there's so much people in China that I believe that you can only have one child per person, and like you have to have like a permit of some sorts. Like I said, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, that for example, like China's so overpopulated, and then they're expanding so much that we're killing types of species, and which is it's just not good for the Earth. Like recent or not so long ago, we killed white rhinos for their husks, and I believe it wasn't even for like medical use or anything. I believe for like jewelry and such, and poaching is like another good example.
I know there was one. Whenever they mentioned,
Yeah.
they said that I guess uh, I don't remember what type of horn, but I know like they said that a horn may cure
Ivory.
cancer. I don't know what animal, but they said that this horn could maybe prevent cancer or slow down cancer in a way. I don't know for sure, but I
Was it
just
ivory or?
I don't know. I think it's rhino. I don't know if it's a rhino, but definitely.
Well, I don't think it was for anything good because they were killing the white rhinos, and
Hmm.
for here some poachers the answer may be simple greed, but for its survival, the fate of the species of the rhino doesn't matter much. If your family is going hungry and your future looks grim, so maybe like poaching is. I feel like poaching is a bad thing because killing these animals and wildlife refugees, which is basically lowering our survival chain, and like fuck, how do I say it? But like the demand for rhino horns, especially in China and Vietnam, where they have been long used in traditional medicine, like it persists and creates considerable financial and incentives. Yeah, for
Yeah.
poaching that are hard and impoverished local men to refuse. And CNN makes a great point about this, man. Like in Kenya, it entails reining and focusing Kenya Wildlife Service, the organization that manages national parks, all not managed by KYS or yeah KWS, and that has been accused by human rights. Like, there's a lot of news articles on this, but I don't think we're gonna go in all in the why white rhinos were killed. But while we're still on the topic, like I think giraffes right now are going extinct, and hold on, and like giraffes, I heard from somewhere that giraffes can go extinct and you're incredibly endangered. Like for us, giraffes have been for us for centuries on end. Like we have known these creatures as something so beautiful, and then as poachers that kill them for their skin to make the bags, and it's horrible. Like there are 13. I'm reading here. 13,000 are endangered or critically endangered. The next level is vulnerable, where giraffes were placed, followed by near threatened and least concerned. Like it's scary to think about. Like we don't like we put these things behind us. Like oh, they'll come back. Yeah. They're, they're fine. But in reality, 13,000 may sound like a lot, but it's very low amount of a precious living creature that we decided to kill off for our own wealth and good. And it just sucks, man. Yeah, like it's crazy. There's things we can't do about it at times, but And then there's the circle of life. It's another thing, and but there's no avoiding it, and it's scary.
And then back to tying on uh like the population of Asia, I just recently looked up. There's almost 1.5 billion people that are recently living on in China in the year 2018, and in Russia there's 144 million, and in total, compared to the United States of America, which is very populated, there's only 325.7 million people that live here in the United States. And um like that just goes to show that people are like reproducing way too fast. Like Stephen Hawking says there's going to be a severe issue in
Yeah.
in life.
We haven't really got Christopher's opinion. Would you
Um,
care to talk about it?
You want to talk about something?
I mean, but like, basically, my opinion on all this thing is just like, whatever happens, we're not going really going to be able to experience it because probably just going to be the next generation of us. If so-called happy, but like, it's not really it's not really our stuff that we do. It's like what the next generations do that can cause this effect and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, we really don't have control of it. You know what I mean? If you kind of vibe with that, you know what I'm trying to say here? Like, we don't really have control over it, because it's what the other generations after us do that's gonna affect our Earth in whatever way that's possible. So I don't really, or I just think we don't really have like a pretty much like a say because like it could go either way. Like global warming, like people talk about that could happen, or overpopulation could happen before that, or the number of things could happen. But it really all depends on what the next generation does that can accrue these things.
Yeah. Just to clarify, like I feel like when this goes up, we're probably gonna get a lot of hate. But just remember, we're a bunch of teenagers sitting on a computer talking about what we think about life. So don't go on a rant yelling at us. We're just giving our personal opinions. We're not professionals.
I'm not saying we know this is gonna happen.
Well,
We're
I'm
not
soon to be.
we're not saying that we're God.
Yeah, we're
we're
just
just
saying
a
what we
bunch of
think.
nerdy ass teenagers just sitting in our room playing some video games, talking about life. Yeah.
And then another thing is like all our current land on Earth, like you know, some places we do not have access to live on. Like Antarctica, that's like off limits. If you go there, you're going to jail. Like we have no access to Antarctica, so that limits. Well, that cuts down the surface area of the human race. So basically, we are basically gonna have to like avoid Antarctica for some unknown reason. The government doesn't want us to let us know. I don't. I read on that it's kind of like an Area 51 times 300 that they're doing more tests, some sorts, but um, we are not accessible to like all our land. Like we have limits to where we could live, limits to where we could be. Um, of course, like that goes for good reason, but you know that really cuts down, and we really have to move fast on colonizing Mars and definitely um, like discovering new near galaxies like the Andromeda galaxy. Maybe like in the near future, not near future at all. 4.7 billion years, we could have people colonize Andromeda if we are still around, we could definitely colonize certain planets of some sorts there if our galaxy survives the Andromeda galaxy colliding with us. What do you think about that, Chris?
I'm I'm pretty sure we probably will not survive like the because they do say Andromeda is coming towards the Milky Way, and there's gonna be a full on collision. I don't think really we'll be able to survive the impacts that Andromeda will have with our stars and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure it'll cause like a ripple, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
somewhat of like a
from the renders, what I've
yeah
seen, it's like that
black hole
Andromeda
type.
is gonna like, cause like first of all, galaxies have these black holes in the center, which has all the stars around them and whatnot, and it would create a far wider experience for both galaxies combined, and they would end up they would end up making this huge gravitational field, so which would make up the weird gravitational input of how fuck, fuck, yeah, I'm just gonna say I'm a Chris
Yeah,
on this
yeah.
because
I don't
there's
think
no way that we could like maybe make like say like we'll go some crazy ass future we will go have these spaceships and we'll have like a force field around Earth, but like it's too it's too far fetched and I don't know. Can someone
yeah.
help me explain this a little more? Like
Okay,
my brain
so
shut down.
basically Andromeda is like it has over 1 trillion stars. Our galaxy only has about 250 billion, and it's kind of scary to think that we could have more people in our galaxy than there are stars in the sky. So basically, Andromeda will collide with us, and definitely it's going to leave its mark by destroying something in some way. Like if somehow the 1% everything goes right, um, the black hole will collide with the sun, and it will be like extreme heat. The temperatures will go skyrocketing. But another thing is that um, while Andromeda is crashing into the Milky Way, of course we are gonna have some impact too. Like Earth is gonna definitely lose, like we're going in a circular formation around Earth or around the sun, and definitely once Andromeda um, collides with us, we're definitely gonna get pushed back to like I'm guessing. All right, 1 second. So, oh my god.
Yeah, like
So
the crazy topic.
we are definitely gonna get pushed back. We are um, Mercury is the closest to Sun. Venus is second, and we are third. So of course, Mercury is gonna have the most impact. It's definitely
Mhm.
gonna go farther, cause it's closest to the sun. But us, we are too. We're gonna go skyrocketing to Saturn, maybe even past. But we are definitely gonna be further away from the sun. Which, if we are in the same position that we are, and Andromeda, the center, the black hole, collides with uh, the sun, it's gonna be maybe 50,000 times more hotter than what it currently is. So basically, the sun will now expand to over where Venus is. That's how large the sun will um, expand to. So if somehow, some way, we are gonna survive this collision, we are definitely gonna most likely see a rise in temperatures. If we do survive, we're gonna definitely see rise of temperature, but um, maybe it might stay the same. It all depends on where we land up on. Like scientists, I don't think this day and age they could predict where we're gonna move to or anything like that. Like, the just it's definitely gonna mess with our rotation around the sun. So yeah, it's gonna leave a big impact most of the time. Well, most likely. What do you guys? Do you guys want to include anything on that?
Yeah, like it's crazy. Like I understand what you're saying. Like I feel like this is gonna be like such a topic. Like and like say you own a house. I'm gonna use Meet the Robinsons example. It's a very poor example, but you know how like they had that like insta building in like the near beginning part
Yeah,
towards the
like the
middle.
bubble building.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
bubble.
where they trying to just like place the building. Like I feel like things are gonna be like that. I feel like there's a restaurant I forgot where they already they're using holograms, but like if you ever been to like a Target or something, and they have like those things on the floor where you can play with it. It's like a piano or something. Like things like that. Like you'll be able to have like a giant retrospective world. Like I think AT&T right now is working on like these glasses. We're kind of like AR technology is going to really really impact us. Like right now, I believe they are training like they're using VR to make more safer heart like open heart transplants and like it's and then they use like these 3D like quote unquote 3D diagrams and so to speak like if we use AR technology and if during surgery like we could see where the we could see in our eyes like oh how much blood he has oh this is how much this is his heart rate is blah 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 and then we'll be able to use the AR technology to locate the heart safer faster surgeries and well, what I'm trying to say is the virtual reality and reality is going to impact us more than we think. Right now, we are using virtual reality. Like right now, when we hear virtual reality, we hear video games, and like there's these simulations that teach us a lot about a lot of things. Like again, back to surgery, for example. I was scrolling through as I normally do. I got an ad that was very very interesting. Uh, I think you I could be wrong on the 18 part where they were making glasses that could use augmented reality to create new type of visions that help us in our day-to-day lives. And I think Motorola phone company has developed this like 5G. I think it's an attachment. Quote me if I'm wrong. And they show these examples where I believe you take a photo of your bag and when you're at an airport phone to use the augmented reality camera and you could locate your bag so to speak and then with that you it makes life easier right and with the Motorola 5G attachment uh, they've showed like a universal translator and it just with a I'm just gonna skip all the all that anymore. I'm just repeating stuff. I don't like it.
Well,
Augmented reality, virtual reality is gonna impact society more than we think. It's going to take over our day-to-day lives, and we're in the future more than we think. And I say that augmented reality is gonna be widely available in 20, 25 years, and we're gonna use it so much that we forget that we even have it, so to speak. It's gonna be one way. And guys.
Well,
Also, I'm gonna say, hold on. Hi. I'll be right back. I gotta think so. Carry on the topic.
okay. So, what Daniel was going on, like, our surgeries and stuff like that. Most of the time, people have to donate their kidney to save one another, or a lung, or a heart. People that want to save other people's life and are willing to die for it. But in the future, in the near future, um, I read upon this article saying that they're gonna have this machine that makes like transplants way easier. Like they're not gonna have to take people's liver and like freaking my bad. Take their liver and literally put it inside the other person's body. They will make a copy of it. It's kind of like cloning, but it's kind of like saving people's lives in a way. But another thing is, we are definitely not accessible to that right now, and like in the near future, I don't think they're gonna allow cloning. Like it is literally illegal to clone a human being. Like I don't know if it goes along with human being parts, but it is like you cannot clone any human being, or you'll get like sentenced to death or some sort of stuff like that. I don't know. It kind of went like off the top. It was kind of like explaining how in the near future we will be able to um, electronically make a heart or some sort of um, part of our body that other people need and are in desperate need for to survive. Chris, do you have anything to top that off?
No, not really.
Would you
But
like to change the topic of some sorts?
sure. How about the topic of technology and basically pretty much what we're going on, what you were kind of talking about, like cloning stuff, like technology and like how far we think it will advance. Do you guys think it will advance to the point where we can actually do space travel or actually any other types of you know space research for the technology or any
Like time
other like
travel.
or yeah time travel teleportation anything like in the movies like they'll like show like hoverboards like actual like boards that hover
Back to the
and like
Future.
yeah or like cars that fly or like stuff like that. You guys think we'll ever reach that type of technology?
I don't know. That's definitely something to like look forward to. Like we may or may not like be able to um, excel our intelligence level to that, but there's definitely a possibility that we could actually in the near future have like this much intelligence or like technology to make like teleporters to get to A to B faster, or like cars that fly autonomously, or what is it? Um,
Hmm?
autonomous, right?
What?
Like automatic driving cars, like Teslas. What is it
Oh,
called?
like the Teslas, how they
Um,
autopilot or like self-driving or what? I don't know. There's
um,
a different word for it, huh? I don't know.
autonomous or something like that. I don't know.
Automatic
No, it's not automatic.
self-driving.
I don't know, but you know
I'm
the self-driving cars, like definitely they're gonna
yeah.
have some sort of like in the game relating to what Daniel says is like kind of inappropriate for this conversation is Detroit Become Human. They instead of having highways where we manually drive, we'll have autonomous cars to do it for us, and we won't have to touch a button. We will just have to start up, and it'll take us. Like, and the highways in the future in the video game that mostly relates to us, what could happen is definitely like
Alright.
there's speed limits in our society as we speak right now, but in the future, whenever we have autonomous cars, we will have the ability to let people just go as fast as they want, as quickly as they need. They could do all that sort of stuff. Like I don't think they'll even have a speed limit. Maybe they will, like over 100. But autonomous cars, like I think they'll be prone to drive on itself, and we'll trust them so much that we will set like a speed of like 100 miles an hour at least. Daniel, do you have anything to relate back to that? I don't know if you heard the topic, but like
Yeah, I'm gonna need a quick read.
in the future, we're just talking about like I was
Mm-hmm.
relating back to
The dog.
Detroit Become Human, like autonomous cars on the highways, how they're traveling at very fast speeds, over at least 100 miles an hour, because
Yeah.
people trust them so much that um, they'll be
Okay.
able just to do it.
I believe I'm on topic now. Yeah. Along with what I've heard so far, it sounds like you guys are talking about autonomous vehicles and the whole SpaceX Tesla thing.
Yeah, with
They have
Elon Musk.
autonomous. Yeah, like Elon Musk, how he runs the company, and how Teslas are becoming autonomous. I remember scrolling through Twitter and I saw he posted um he posted that or not posted, retweeted someone that has like a parking permit, so to speak, and they controlled their vehicle from on top of their house, and things like that is really gonna impact us, and it's gonna be like people with glasses, so to speak. Like I'm a guy with glasses. Um, I hardly notice my glasses anymore. When at night when I have them on, my room is very dark. At night when I have them off, I go to take off my glasses. I go to take them off and they're not there. So, and then I'm like, you get so used to the feeling of it that it becomes invisible to your eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like autonomous vehicles are gonna impact so much that we forget that they're even a thing. That we forget that manual and how it really changes. Like Elon Musk, as memed as
Oh,
he is probably gonna be one of the most important men for our century because he has opened our eyes to a lot of things. He has done the things that we wouldn't even do. Like the automated. This series is great. Like, if you guys want to get more information on this, go visit the website or go visit SpaceX.com, I think, and just go read his tweets, what he does, and uh, see what happens because he's very interesting. He inspires me a lot. Yeah,
Definitely, like Elon Musk is very important to our day. Like, he has brought us autonomous cars, Tesla. He has shown up with SpaceX that is forcing us to do extreme things that we did not imagine we could do already. Like, he is making a manned mission to Mars and wants to make it livable. And he says it's only going to take about 3 to 10 years. 3 to 10 years in your own head is a very long time, but in reality, it is like so short. 3 to 10 years to colonize a whole planet for many people to live on. Like that's gonna be a big impact in our society these days. Um,
yeah,
as as I was saying, Chris has been a fan of like all these Tesla cars and like
oh yeah.
autonomous driving. Like he is one to really to put his um put out like more information than all of us because he is more like intelligent in that way, like technology
That sounds
wise.
so bad. Uh,
Um, all right, go ahead, Chris.
yeah, don't worry. I'm not like a super giant ass freaking nerd. Like, hey guys, I'm gonna whip out some new science shit. Uh, I I really like high tech stuff in life. You know what I mean? Like I do like the Teslas because they are very cool, and the designs and stuff, and just the way they work and the concept of being electric. That's cool, in my opinion. So we could stop using like gas because pretty soon we're gonna run out of that, and then if we
Oh
run,
yeah, fossil
Yeah.
fuels.
Well,
yeah,
yeah, I want to talk about this. It'll be a good time to
yeah, that'll be a good.
wrap up this. I
Hmm.
guess we'll call it an episode. Yeah, we rely a lot on gasoline and petrol and diesel and all this to transport in our everyday lives. Like, I believe solar energy is the most efficient and natural energy we have created because with solar energy, we aren't creating these harmful toxins killing us. Because in reality, we're actually killing ourselves. Gases that are going into our atmosphere, and it just a lot happens to it. And we think gas right now, some people do, is an infinite resource, which is not. So fossil fuel will eventually become very, very like fossil fuel.
It's already very
Will,
toxic to us as we speak.
yeah. Well, no, I don't think they're toxic, but we are using them for money. Again, money controls us. Money controls how we live, how we act. Money is a very, very I think money is a horrible, horrible concept. But anyway, fossil fuels, we're not only destroying history, but we are killing ourselves. It's not a good resource. Like, yes, it may be transport. Yes, it is a type of substance we rely on in our everyday lives, and it's not good. And that concluding it, solar panels can really say like, oh, go hotwire a damn solar panel on your car. No, something like Tesla's doing. They're, I believe, Tesla's really friendly and eco-friendly machinery. We could either there's two or three we can do this. One, we can create a very eco-friendly environment for which we then, which our offspring then pursue to live in, and it will be a more, yeah, like a dystopian future. It'll it'll be more widely available transportation for automated because what I believe is Tesla in the next 20 years is gonna finally hit a peak where now, nah, maybe not even 20 years, maybe 5 years, where it will hit a peak where they finally make the break of how they should run their cars, and then they'll start to keep modifying it, making it better, and making it better for a widely available transportation system, and helping us as the humans get around more, and they'll start to make those autonomous, where kind of like Uber, for example, you can use your car, pinpoint the GPS, we're gonna keep Detroit because it's an example. It's a very damn good. They they sit in these widely big box cars, and they put in like I believe they put in the GPS where they want to go, so just like beep boop boop, and they are in these chairs, and you could all look at each other, have a face-to-face conversation, bringing people together more, and say it's getting real close to Christmas time, for example, and you can have an autonomous vehicle go to, say, a relative's house, and you have this communication, and you have not only with the autonomous vehicling, do you get around easier and it's more eco-friendly, but you have wider space in your building to store stuff, and without the steering, like, say, yeah, there's a fail-safe steering wheel just in case something happens to the atomic mobility, and but there's more space in a vehicle, and you could transport stuff way faster at a larger rate, creating this creating a very friendly dystopian future. And two, we don't follow Elon Musk or any of these great, very, very great people, and we don't listen, and so we keep using fossil fuels. We keep going, and we start to kill ourselves even more. We start to hit this fallout, and now recently with all the news and everything, I think I'm a little far behind on it. But like with the whole America versus North Korea type thing, I believe they signed a treaty to ban nuclear warfare, but I believe that there was something more deep inside of it. And with the warfare, there'll be nuclear fallout. We all know that. And with the nuclear fallout, we kill half the population.
Kind of
And
relating back to the game Fallout.
yeah, I was gonna say, using that example, the game Fallout used it as a really good. Yeah, and I feel like this is a good place to wrap it up. What do you guys think?
I
Yeah.
feel definitely that we did really speak our mind now. Like we are definitely like
I feel like we've talked a lot about about a lot of good subjects, and brought us closer to our opinions. And I want to hear what everyone else thinks about this whole thing. And yeah, if you did enjoy listening, please consider liking, I and subscribing. And if you do, please go to my friends' channels, Christopher and Brandon. I will put channel links in the below. Thank you. This has been the Thinkers, and we'll see you all later. Thank you.
thank you.
Bye.
Yeah.